I'm Abby Kowal with Exposed Sports, and this is the recap week number 4. Let's get started with last week's recaps and head out to McKinney ISD Stadium, where McKinney North defeated Rockwall Heath 56-34. McKinney North scored on 5 straight possessions in the first half to take the lead 35-21 going into halftime. After Heath fumbled on consecutive possessions, J.J. Henry and Emmanuel Fincher came through with 2 touchdowns, and then Noah Ford showed out with 3 TDs, including a 70-yard reception from Dylan Markowitz. Fincher carried the ball 32 times for 163 yards, as the Bulldogs racked up a total of 636 yards. Markowitz was 19 for 24 for 373 yards in the victory. Mesquite defeated the LD Bell Raiders 44-3 on Thursday night. A 59-yard touchdown run from Ladarius Turner started things off for Mesquite, and they took off from there. Turner rushed for 183 yards and had 3 touchdowns as LD Bell struggled to get things going. Mesquite quarterback Dylan Hilliard McGill had 2 TDs, including an 88-yard touchdown run early in the second quarter. Mesquite is off to a 4-0 start this season, the best they've had since 2012. In a close game, Garland defeated South Garland 56-43. With both teams putting up a total of 1,082 offensive yards combined, Garland came out on top. Jaxon Powers got Garland out to an early lead with a 61-yard touchdown run and then another 2-yard touchdown run. Quarterback Sergio Perez threw for 284 yards with 5 touchdowns in the game. South Garland, down 29-6, started to make a comeback when Jaleel Brown ran for 56 yards for a touchdown. South Garland then went on a 30-14 point run, bringing the score within 1 touchdown but fell short to the Owls. In a close finish, the Rockwall Yellow Jackets defeated Arlington Matin 45-38. Standout Rockwall quarterback Braden Locke showed what he was made of, throwing for 342 yards and 6 touchdowns in the victory over Arlington Matin. Locke connected with Jaxon Smith 11 times to rack up 201 yards and 4 touchdowns. The other 2 touchdowns went to Brendan Bays and J.J. Williams. In a tough-fought fight, Arlington Martin's Chris Kraft had 12 carries for 157 yards, including a 51-yard touchdown run to start the second half. Quarterback Zach Mundell passed for 133 yards and threw for 2 touchdowns. With a chance to tie or take the lead in the second half, the Warriors fumbled midfield and Rockwall was able to preserve the lead. In a 42-7 victory, the Midlothian Panthers defeated the Arlington Seguin Cougars. Midlothian's running backs were on fire on Friday night, rushing for 342 yards. Ethan Hill and Lane Martin rushed for 3 touchdowns and 176 yards combined, while running back Jeremy McCoy also had himself a touchdown on a 20-yard run. Midlothian's defense held strong against the Cougars' offense, only allowing 1 touchdown in the second quarter, which was a 25-yard run by quarterback Xavion Bryce. The dual-threat quarterback accounted for 128 yards. Denton Ryan held nothing back in the 63-7 victory over West Mesquite. After a week off, the Denton Ryan Raiders were more than ready to take the field against West Mesquite. The number 2 team in the state had a total of 565 yards, and by halftime were leading by 49. Quarterback Seth Hennigan had 240 yards with 5 touchdowns, completing all but 2 of his pass attempts. In 3 games, Hennigan has 11 touchdowns. Other scorers for the Raiders were Billy Bowman Jr. with 3 touchdowns and 129 yards, as well as Imani Bailey with 2 TDs for 124 yards. The only touchdown for West Mesquite came from a pass from Kevin Jennings to Jacoby Walter with 1 minute of play left. In another convincing win, the Lancaster Tigers beat Mansfield Legacy 61-0. Trey Bradford started it off for the Tigers with a 62-yard touchdown run to take an early lead. Running back DQ James quickly followed with another touchdown from 1 yard, and then Bradford was at it again from 14 yards, giving Lancaster a 20-point lead going into halftime. Quarterback Glenn Rice went 9 for 11 for 110 yards and another 65 yards on the ground. The Tigers' defense held strong as they added both a fumble and an interception returned for touchdowns. Although scoreless, Manfield's running back Ayo Adeyi had 28 carries for 170 yards. Let's get into the top plays of the week. We'll start out with South Garland's Jaleel Brown. At number 10, Brown had a nice 56-yard run for a touchdown. Number 9 goes to Martin High's Chris Kraft with a 51-yard run for a TD. A 65-yard touchdown run for Imani Bailey will give the Denton Ryan running back spot number 8. Number 7 is Dylan Markowitz's 70-yard pass to Noah Ford for McKinney North. Jaxon Powers' 69-yard touchdown run for Garland will get him to number 6. At number 5, Mesquite High School's Ladarius Turner with a 79-yard touchdown run. Jaxon Smith will come in at number 4 with a solid 67-yard reception from Rockwall quarterback Braden Locke. And now for your top 3. At number 3, Braylon Witherspoon returned a blocked PAT field goal for 93 yards for South Garland. At number 2, Lancaster standout DQ James with a stellar 87-yard run for a touchdown. In the number 1 spot, Mesquite High School's Dylan Hilliard McGill outruns the defenders with this incredible 88-yard touchdown run. Those were your top plays of the week, and like always, you know what to do. If you think you deserve a spot in the top plays, send us a DM. Let's get right into players of the week. On defense, we have Denton Ryan safety Trey Smith. Smith, who had 7 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and 1 blocked punt return for a touchdown, had a standout performance in the win over West Mesquite 63-7. Offensive player of the week will go to South Garland's quarterback Jaleel Brown. Brown ran for 373 yards with 2 touchdowns, as well as throwing for 41 yards and a TD in a close loss to Garland. Underclassman of the week will go to sophomore running back Jaxon Powers. Powers ran for 196 yards and had 3 touchdowns to help Garland get the win against South Garland 56-43. These were our top players of the week. Let us know what you guys think. Now it's time for the top upcoming games of the week. In a battle of the undefeated, Keller Central will take on Denton Guyer this Thursday night at Denton's C.H. Collins Athletic Complex. For Denton, Eli Stowers has 775 yards on the season with 7 touchdowns, and standout Kadrick Cobbs has 538 yards with 9 TDs. Another player to watch for Denton, Seth Mater, who has 358 yards and 5 touchdowns. Keller Central, also 3-0, is led by quarterback Gavin White, who has a total of 547 yards and 7 touchdowns, as well as Andrew Paul and Landon Walker, who combined have 581 offensive yards. Mesquite Horn will take on Mesquite at Mesquite Memorial Stadium on Friday night. Horn's quarterback Davizea Gabriel will lead Horn in the district matchup. On the season, Gabriel has 626 yards and 3 touchdowns. Other players to watch will be wide receiver Cameron Jackson, who has 209 yards and 10 receptions, and athlete Ben Wyatt. For undefeated Mesquite, running back Ladarius Turner will be one to keep an eye on as he has 411 yards and 7 touchdowns. Quarterback Dylan Hilliard McGill will also be a threat with 506 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. Also make sure to watch for Jadarian Smith and KB Frazier. This was the recap, week number 4. Make sure to like this video and comment your thoughts below. I'm Abby Kowal with Exposed Sports, and we'll see you guys next week.